right, let's take a deep dive into something pretty mind-bending today. We're going to talk about thinking in 4 dimensions, where the lines between your inner world and outer reality start to blur. Yeah? It's going to get real interesting. So, buckle up. Picture this. Everything you could ever want or need is already here, right now, in this very moment. Yep, that's the core of 4-dimensional thinking. It's a mindset that goes beyond the usual limits of how we see the world. Think of it like this. The conversations you have with yourself, those quiet little chats inside your head, they don't just stay inside. They ripple out, shaping your reality, your interactions, and everything around you. What you think about, what you talk about behind closed eyelids, those thoughts are like seeds. They don't just sit there. They grow, sprout, and weave into the life you live, like a movie on the screen of your reality. But here's the kicker. What are we really trying to create here? When we talk about creating something, we're not talking about pulling rabbits out of hats. Nah. We're talking about bringing to light something that's already there, lurking in the shadows of invisible reality. Everything, in its deepest form, already exists, just waiting to be realized. Imagine it like a treasure hunt, but the treasure is already buried in the sand, just waiting for you to dig it up. Your inner voice, the one that's calm and centered, not the one that's just constant noise in your head, guides you on that journey. It whispers in harmony, reminding you that in the realm of the 4th dimension, anything is possible. This whole idea of 4-dimensional thinking isn't new. Neville Goddard, a wise soul, talked about it all the time. He encouraged us to be imitators of God, seeing the invisible like it's right in front of us. And you know what? We can do that, too. We can bring the unseen into the world of the seen. To do that, we need to tap into our imagination before anything shows up in the real world. Your inner conversations? They're the cradle of all your creations. They're the nursery where your dreams take shape. And just like a seed needs to be watered before it grows, your inner visions need nurturing before they manifest in the world. In the world of 4-dimensional thinking, we're learning to echo the divine act of bringing the invisible into the visible. It's like casting a spell, not in a magical sense, but with faith. Faith, as Neville said, is being loyal to something you can't see yet, trusting that it exists even when it hasn't shown up in physical form. It's a trust fall into the unknown. And here's why I keep saying, over and over in our videos, that we are the architects of our own reality. We're the ones shaping it with our thoughts, sculpting it with those inner dialogues, what we imagine. It's not just a passing whim, it's the beginning of something. It's a process that's already unfolding around us, whether we notice it or not. Now, Neville also said something really wild, and it's been true for a lot of us. Many people, myself included, have seen things happen before they happen. Yep, you've seen it, right? Something plays out in your mind and then, boom, it happens in real life. And if that's possible, that means life has to unfold according to a plan that exists in another dimension. It's like the universe has already mapped out your journey, and it's slowly showing you the way. The trick? Our senses are super powerful, but they can also blind us. We're so caught up in what we can touch, see, and hear that we miss the invisible stuff that's all around us. To really see it, we've got to free our minds. Let go of that sensory grip and start focusing on what's unseen, what's felt, what's sensed. When we do that, it becomes just as real as anything we can touch. We've all been taught to believe that our 5 senses, what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell, are the end-all and be-all of reality, right? But here's the twist. There comes a time in our spiritual journey when we start thinking for ourselves, breaking free from those old boundaries. It's like that old saying, thinking outside the box. And when that happens, we start asking ourselves some pretty deep questions. What do we really want? How do we want to live? And as we start digging into those questions, we realize something. Powerful. We've got desires that are totally unique to us, desires that open up paths we never even imagined. We begin to listen to our intuition, and that inner voice, it becomes our compass, guiding us through the noise of the world and helping us interpret things from a whole new perspective. When we tap into this, things start to click into place, and success follows, sometimes in ways that might make people scratch their heads and say, "Wow, you're a genius," or "You think in ways no one else does." By following our heart's desires, we get this glimpse into something even bigger: how to break free from the limits of three-dimensional thinking, the kind that keeps us trapped in the past or the future, always looking backward or forward, but never fully living in the moment. And when we affirm that something has already been done, that's when things get real. You might not see it in the physical world right away, but trust me, inside, everything's shifting. Our perception of reality flips, and suddenly, a whole new world starts to unfold in front of us. By aligning our inner dialogue with our vision, we bridge that gap between what we want and what we see on the outside. We stop feeling stuck or hurt by what others think or by our circumstances. Instead, we move through the world effortlessly, picking the experiences and people that match where we're headed, guided by our inner voice. It's like being on a path that, while unexpected, feels exactly right, like we're being led exactly where we need to be. This is the essence of our inner journey. Intuition, inner dialogue, and true desires converge here to shape a life that's beyond what most people could even imagine. It's a life that feels like magic, but it's not. It's simply the power of tuning into the right frequency. Now, when it comes to manifesting our desires, we can't overlook how certain circumstances and information play their part. But let's really dig into that idea and uncover the deeper truths that could completely shift our lives. Imagine, for a second, you've decided to change careers. Got it? Now picture what it would feel like to already be living that new career. Even though on the outside, it's not quite there yet. To really step into that essence, we've got to jump into the vision of it, all in. We're talking about fully, activating all our senses, imagining it in the deepest, most immersive way possible. In that sacred moment, you're not just thinking about your new career, you're feeling it, living it. And in that space, we make an act of faith. That's when the magic happens. It's the turning point of manifestation, the key to unlocking four-dimensional thinking. Even if the outside world still looks the same, things inside us begin to change. Subtle shifts start to happen. Feelings, new inspirations, and ideas flow in. Then, people pop into your life, almost out of nowhere. These aren't random encounters. They're the people and connections that guide you to opportunities you never thought possible. This kind of growth isn't your typical cookie-cutter path. It's something more. It's four-dimensional thinking. In this space, the game is totally different. Everything exists right now. And you're a part of it, just as real as anything else. To master seeing the invisible, to step into that realm, it's crucial to let go of the limitations of your five senses. Focus your attention on what's not there yet, what's invisible, and feel it, really feel it, until it's as real as the world around you. Here's where imagination takes the spotlight, my friends. Ever tried to drift into that almost dreamy, half-asleep state? It's like the world slows down and you can really focus on that one picture, the one thing that represents what you want, the life you want. And if that's not your thing, just create a few affirmations, something simple like, "It's already done." Believe me, these little practices take you to a whole new mental space. When you get there, you feel like it's already happened. It's that sense of knowing, like you've already stepped into the life you desire, even if the world around you hasn't caught up yet. Now, think of your thoughts like a laser beam, so sharp and focused that everything else just fades away. It's almost like the world around you goes quiet, like a faint hum in the distance. when you direct that beam of thought, really concentrate on it with all you've got, everything else becomes background noise. And that's where the magic happens. That's where manifestation begins. But hold up, there's a catch. Concentration isn't just about focusing your mind. Oh no, it's also about paying attention to what's going on inside. Your inner voice? It's got to be in tune with your goals. The conversations you're having with yourself, they matter more than you think. Make sure they're always on the same wavelength as the life you're calling in. Once you start noticing those little shifts in your inner world, the real fun begins. Because guess what? Those shifts will show up in the outer world too. It's like a beautiful, synchronized dance between your mind and the universe. You focus on the vision, and the universe can't help but start to rearrange itself to match. The key here? Keep the focus, keep the joy in the process. Because when you understand that the power is within you, it's like having a secret weapon. Your inner world becomes the catalyst for everything outside. You shift those thoughts, adjust the dial on your mindset, and suddenly, poof, your outer reality starts to mirror your inner changes. Day by day, you get better at shifting your thoughts, your inner conversations. And with that, you'll see the world around you transform in the most beautiful ways. It's like watching a butterfly emerge from a cocoon. Only the cocoon is your mind, and the butterfly is the new life you're stepping into. At the end of the day, remember, the power to create your reality, it's inside you, always has been. And when you tap into this practice, it opens the door to a whole new way of seeing the world. You step into spiritual vision, a realm where your senses go beyond the physical, into the realm where hidden truths are waiting to be found. And hey, if you need a little confirmation, the ancient scriptures got you covered. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Romans 1:20. To really understand your vision, you've got to know this. It doesn't rely on the five senses. Nope. It's all about waking up your spiritual senses. And yes, I know, it's probably not what you've been taught. Your physical senses will tell you one thing, but there's more to the story. This, my friend, is the essence of four-dimensional thinking. The belief that everything is already here and now, just waiting for you to see it. You can observe events before they even show up in your reality. How cool is that? To really tap into this whole four-dimensional thinking thing, we've got to start by looking inward. Like, really paying attention to that inner voice of ours, the conversations we have with ourselves about what went down today and what's ahead in the future. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should get stuck daydreaming about a future that hasn't shown up yet. Nope. This knowledge is here to help you get a better grip on things so you can manifest exactly what you want in life. Here's the thing. Sometimes life throws us curveballs, right? You know those moments when it feels like the world's rejecting you. Like when someone takes a swing at your dreams, telling you that you're bound to fail. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. I get it. But here's the twist. All that stuff is actually happening inside you long before it shows up on the outside. Maybe it started like this. Can I really do this? Am I good enough? That little seed of doubt you planted in your mind grows. And before you know it, someone outside you is handing it back in the form of their disappointing words. It's like the world is mirroring what you already believe deep down. So, here's the power move. If you want to change your reality, change the conversation inside your head. The magic starts there. Every change, every transformation, it all kicks off in our consciousness. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere in the outside world. It starts with those quiet, subtle shifts happening deep within us. It's like a play unfolding on the grand stage of life, and the world around you is just a reflection of the script you've written inside your mind. Imagine that your surroundings, the people, the places, the situations you find yourself in are like a canvas where your inner changes are being painted. This is how the inside comes to life on the outside. I'm really hoping that this concept clicks for you because it's the key to unlocking whatever transformation you're after, whether that's in your goals or your spiritual growth. You've got to stop seeing yourself as just a product of your five senses. If you do that, it's like you're drifting aimlessly in a reality you think you can't control. But here's the kicker. To really purify your mind and get your inner dialogue in check, you need to recognize that these conversations aren't just reactions to what happens around you. Nope, they're actually the architects of the life you're living. I know, it sounds a little mind-bending at first because we're so used to thinking the outer world causes the way we feel. But trust me, with a little dedication, you can start to shift that perspective. Here's a golden nugget, too. Remember, all change starts in consciousness. Even the future, as detailed as we imagine it, comes with endless paths we could walk. It's our internal dialogues, the ones we have with ourselves and the world around us, that push us toward the future we want. Now, there are plenty of ways to make things happen, whether you're charging forward with force, flowing with ease, or mixing the two. The choice is yours. But here's the thing. When you get that all change happens in consciousness, your inner dialogue will start to shift. You'll move from reacting to being proactive. You'll start affirming that all power is here, now, in this moment. And when you do that, you step into a world of endless possibilities, where your reality is shaped with purpose and grace. So, I just want to say thank you for taking this journey with me. If this video spoke to you, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share it with others who could use this message. And hey, don't forget to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, reflections, and any experiences you want to share. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Take care.